Let's bring in Congressman Michael McCaul, ranking member of the Foreign Affairs Committee, who also serves on the Homeland Security Committee. Good morning to you, Congressman.
Morning, Sandra.
So what do we need to hear from the president tonight?
I think he wants to give a speech about American greatness and talk about the things that unite us rather than divide us, whether that be trade, infrastructure, protecting the American worker, the INF treaty with Russia, China negotiations, and I think he's going to announce also he's going to sit down with Kim Jong-un in Vietnam as well. But when it comes to border security, I think that's an issue that if you look at the issue overall, most Republicans and Democrats agree with the idea. It's just a question of how to get there. I have my thoughts on that. I think the Secure Fence Act authorized what has been put down there in terms of steel bollard fencing, most of that during the Obama administration. And it seems to me that Nancy Pelosi is so dug in that she's putting politics over national security. And we could move forward with a compromise if people were operating in good faith as a policy matter rather than a political.
But still, as far as all options on the table, you continue to hear that from this White House. The president has continued with that message. There are some Republicans who are skeptical with the president moving forward in that way. Josh Holmes, former chief of staff to Mitch McConnell, who's obviously spoken out about this as well, had this to say earlier, and I'll get your reaction in a second.
The conservative part of the Republican conference has grave fears about a president unilaterally declaring emergencies. You can see, if we have a president of another party, how something like climate change could invoke huge economic catastrophe upon the American people just based on ideological grounds. And so there's huge reservations for that.
His former boss, Mitch McConnell, has reportedly said in private meetings with the president this could cause a huge rift within the Republican Party.
Well, I do think this is a route we don't want to go down, and only if Congress gives the president no other choice but to declare an emergency declaration would he do so. He has said repeatedly he will do this. We know that immediately it would be tied up in the courts for a long time. And so I hope this conference committee, the appropriators, can get something done, put the politics aside, and get the. We all know how to get this done. I've been dealing with this for 16 years in Congress, and before that as a federal prosecutor. We know how to do this. We got the experts telling us how to do it. Let's just get the job done so we don't have to force the president's hand on this emergency declaration.
Well, the deadline quickly approaching there, facing another shutdown. You mentioned the possibility of a Kim Jong-un, President Trump summit. Number two, Jack Keane said this earlier about that possibility.
One thing that we could do is what you suggested, and that is end the armistice, end the so-called Korean War, which has never been a peace treaty over. That would indeed be a deliverable, but they have to make some significant concession to us.
Concessions from North Korea. If there is another summit, you expect an announcement from the president tonight?
I think my early indications are that he will announce a meeting with Kim Jong-un in Vietnam within the next month. And I think this is a very positive development. I agree with Jack Keane. I think I have a lot of admiration and respect for him. I would warn not to make concessions, though, before the North Koreans start de-escalating their nuclear program. They've done that time and time again, and they have played us. They'll try to get us to remove all of our troops from South Korea before they do anything, and I think it should happen the other way around.
Are you getting an indication that an actual date has been set?
That's my understanding, yes.
All right. We will look for an announcement from the president, possibly this evening. Michael McCaul, thank you very much, Congressman.
Thanks.